Alright, on to the cream of the crop. Skill builds. So, generally, skill builds are a must to have someone on your team to have a generally good skill build and have the ability to run it good. It counters a lot of builds. For instance, heal builds. You run a skill build with an EMP pulse, you practically don't have to worry about that heal build. It's dead in the water. Counters many other builds too that use their skills a lot, but the skill builds have the highest output in my eyes of damage, suppression, and it puts the enemy on their toes of, oh, they have a skill build, we need to counter. And this version would be my favorite. This would be my... I would say it gets a lot of kills, however, it's more of a support role. I can run around with it. I got Unbreakable on my chest piece, so I can run around, take a few hits, Unbreakable saves me here and there. And then it has Creep and Death on the backpack, which makes this build very, very nice and formidable as an enemy on the enemy team. So, skills-wise, I'm using this Sticky Bomb, and I'm running the Fire Kilns. Okay, I got my directive on that, killed all my chems, but yeah. So the reason why I like Creep and Death so much is if I hit one enemy with the Sticky Bomb, and then I don't actually end up hitting his whole team, as long as his teammates are within those 5 meters, they take the full damage that the first person hit. I mean, I didn't even hit that one on the left. However, it still got the one all the way on the right due to the fact that the Creep and Death kicks in on impact, unlike the Eclipse that activates on kill. This activates on impact. See, he's getting burnt all the way from me setting this guy on fire. Like, it is very nice to have. Like, you can get teammates bunched up, especially if, like I said, if they're running the healer. Generally, all the guys are going to be inside that heal box, which means that they're roughly going to be within 5 meters of each other. You throw one chem into that mix, and all of them are set on fire, and it's pretty much a wrap for that entire team. It makes you feel like you got more chems than you actually do have, or you've got more sticky bombs than you have, because if you got to think, if you're hitting one person and then you shoot a smoke at 2 people but you only get one, odds are the guy that's not on fire is going to be the one that kills you. But with that, you can miss and still hit that person. Second version that I like to use, so that would be just my normal status build how it's built. The second version is my actually explosive damage build, which only change really is the second piece for Wyvern, which gives you status effect, now changes into a China Light piece to give me the extra explosive damage. Now, I did used to have this built with the China Light 3-piece Emperor. No, before it wasn't. It was 2-piece. However, even if you build it with now the 3-piece Emperors, the 2-piece Emperors, sorry, and then the 2 Grupo pieces, the explosive damage actually hits less than this build does, how it's built now, due to the fact that you miss out on the skill efficiency, and that's the most powerful. So this variant would be the strongest Mortar build, especially mixed with the glass cannon. So this one is my kill anything build. No matter what, even if you've got a Hazard Pro build, you are not withstanding this build. Like, you can rush me all you want, and you will die, and everybody that follows you will die. There's just no getting around this build. It is just meant to kill everything. It is the strongest build. Like, no. And then with EMPs too, as long as you pull it next to you and you can shoot and you pick it back up, instead of having to wait that 10 seconds, you'll just be EMP'd for 3 seconds and then it's back out again. Like, what can you really do to someone with this build? Like, It is very hard to counter, like very hard to counter. And like I said, that mortar does so much damage that it's not even funny. Even if you don't take the bleed damage, the base damage you cannot negate and you will die. Doesn't matter how much armor you have, if you're being hit by this mortar, you're going down. Even with the chem launcher does ridiculous amounts of damage. And the chem launcher doesn't even explode, it's just fire damage. So it's not even getting the benefits of the explosive damage like the mortar is, yet it's still killing. Those are the two variants. I only use this for special occasions. I rarely ever actually use this version of the build due to the fact that it limits your playstyle because you're wearing glass cannon. You are again really squishy. So it's more of a setup, have the enemy push you or push behind your team when they're being focused type build. And I can't be on, I would say, the mid lines of the playing field and survive as I can survive with the other build. So, but those are the two skill builds that I use if people are interested in skill builds. So there's this one. Again, I forgot the shooting range, you can't switch. So that would be the unbreakable 2-piece wyvern instead of the China Light with the creeping death. You can use shock and awe to increase the damage of your skills while still using unbreakable. However, you find that the creeping death activates more useful than the shock and awe. Guns and that obviously don't matter, but you do want to use 2 instant guns. I prefer SMG. So when I set the enemy on fire, you can increase the damage of the burn by shooting you in sync and having that constantly procced for the entire duration. And then obviously as an SMG, it's got your highest crit chance for a build that has no crit chance on the build. So you end up being like 46 crit chance on the SMG on a skill build with no crit chance. So that's decently high. And I use the AUG because it has the highest base damage out of the SMGs. Again, for a non-red build, it's decently high. But, you know, the other guns aren't too bad as well behind it. So use something like a Vector or something. You're not going to be getting that damage out of it. There'd be no point. And the idea is to keep up your instinct, not completely burst through the seconds and have to reload. So, and then usually, actually, I don't know why I have the capacitor. Oh, I do have it for the base damage. So obviously the base damage of the capacitor being a skill build is going to be higher due to the fact that it gives you 7.5 weapon damage per skill tier you have. And obviously I'm using a full skill tier build. So I get a decent amount of base damage from that. However, again, because the crit chance drop off, the crit chance isn't as high. So I prefer the SMG. A secondary other than the capacitor, if you don't have it, would be any perfect instinct gun. Would be your harmony or your test subject, preferably the test subject in PvP though, since you want an auto gun so you can actually do damage and not have to spam the trigger button. But that'll be your second trade-off, is just having a normal instinct SMG and then a perfect instinct secondary gun, just to suit your occasion.